Hi, welcome to WMD. That's Woody's Modelling Diary. It's been a while. Not that I wanted it to be this long, but life has lots of things going on in it other than model railways. So you can't always do as much as you want. But there has been some progress. So I thought I'd just do a little bit of an update on what's been going on, just so we can keep a tab on the changes. First things first, this sort of last baseboard here, which is number 4 of the 4 baseboards, that's all been wired up underneath, point motors installed. So that's all 4 boards done now. So the only thing I've got left to do is build a control panel. So that's in the planning stage. The other things which have been going on, most of that track's now being ballasted. Profile boards have been fitted, as you can see, and I've sort of cut out the initial sort of mounting board substructure, scenic substructure. So that'll be infilled with polystyrene and cut to shape and scenified. There's also this sort of tunnel stroke bridge section. It's a bit difficult just to get in there, but I think you can see mainly what it's there. And that's sort of in the process of being built. As you can see, it's my normal sort of mounting card construction. Got a few bits of quadrant wood in there just to put some strength into it. What else has been going on? Well, we've also done a little bit more ballasting with the sort of goods yard area having been done, and there's also a fuel depot, which is one of the old Nightwing kits. Absolutely fantastic little kits. I'm not quite sure whether they're being produced again or not, but if they are, that's great. If they're not, it would be nice if somebody actually sort of took on the mantle and recommissioned the molds. The other thing which has sort of struck me is it's just about 3 years since I started my last great project layout, and 3 years is a long time, and as you can see, quite a bit has happened over those 3 years. We just pan round. I think that's my favourite baseboard at the moment, the one with the viaducts on it. We go around sort of cutting area leading into the sort of station approach, Marshall Yard, fuel depot, the hidden sidings behind that retaining wall there, the station area, and we've got this sort of 2 platform faced station, and then that sort of bridge section there sort of just neatly segregates it from the rest of the layout. So in effect, this becomes a small layout on its own, whilst at the same time there's the sort of 4 lines or loops in there which enable me to alternate 2 trains round on the outside circuits, and that's worked really well. One of the amazing things for me is that during this entire process of building this layout so far, I've not actually changed the track plan from what I initially thought, apart from, and I'll just take you slowly around so nobody gets a headache, where that hill is with the trees, that was going to be a motive power depot, and it just didn't work for me. I would have had to cut short the good sidings to get the curvature in, and I don't know, I just thought perhaps a bit too much railway, a bit too condensed. So that's the only thing which has changed. The rest of it's as it was originally planned out in my head, and that's rather amazing, because for years I used to be one of those who'd read Railway Modeller, Model Rail, British Railway Modelling. You have to excuse that lamp column, I need to glue that in permanently. But I did leave it loose because I keep knocking it. So once I've finished construction of that back bit, I'll glue that in. But I used to read these magazines and be inspired by people's layout plans and sort of immediately go and try and construct something like it or alter what I already had. And that's probably one of the worst things you can do. Maybe it's just down to old age, maybe it's just down to experience, but this works for me. 2 outside circuits with 2 loops gives me that ability to alternate trains. And then I've got this sort of station and marshalling goods yard area where I can literally sort of do a bit of timetable operation, shunting. And because, and again, not wishing to give anybody a headache, I've got that sort of loop area there going over the viaduct. I can use that as a sort of small fiddle yard if I want. So it all works out quite well for me, and that's great. You'll have to excuse a can of Pepsi there as well. I've got a bit of a dry throat at the moment, so that's trying to lubricate me. The only other thing that I've got to report is you are going to see a Lima DMU running, the other part of that. But unfortunately, last night as I was running it, it suddenly came to a halt and I forgot about it because I was doing something else, and I went back to it and the chip's actually blown. And I think what happened was the motor was still running, or the current going through it, and it was actually stuck, so the actual decoder overheated and burnt out. So that's a lesson to be learned. If you do have a piece of rolling stock with a chip in it which sort of jams itself up and the motor is still receiving current, deal with it quickly. Otherwise that could well end up as a fried chip for you as well. Luckily it's one of the Lias chips, which I think you can still buy for about 12 or 13 pounds. So it's not the end of the world. It wasn't a sound chip. Anyway, hopefully over the next couple of months that area will be finished. Last great words, but hopefully that will be finished. And then I've got to rebuild that original bridge section. That's taken a bit of a hammering and 1 or 2 bits have come off. I need to do something else with that, but I've got the basic structure there. I just need to do some cosmetic work on it, and I just need to then ballast that small area there and the station, and then think about what's going on top of that. Well, in the previous video I did hint that that looks very much like a small baseboard frame, so we'll have to wait and see with that one. In the meantime, let's just see a couple more trains run. Right, time to draw this video to an end. I hope it's been of interest and use to you. I'm just going to give you a quick sweep of the entire layout. I don't think I've done that before, or not for a long time. For those of you interested, it's 11 foot by 6 foot, built onto 4 baseboards which can be unjoined, and so the layout is movable rather than portable. 3 loops in effect, a couple of storage loops on the back, and a sort of storage loop or passing loop on the front, station area at the back. And there you have it. That's basically 3 years worth of work so far. I've done a lot of other things, so this hasn't been my only project. Anyway, as I said, I hope this is of interest, and hopefully there'll be an update sooner rather than later with that far corner at least looking a little bit more scenic. For those of you who subscribed, I'm always amazed but truly thankful to you. Thank you very much. If you've just watched it, thank you for watching. I hope that you'll come back and see a few more videos, and that there is something of interest for you. But in the meantime, you take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again. Bye!